intercontinental peace has been shattered by the heartbreaking events that befell the Gryphon states. Once home of the influential and powerful Tribon alliance, the Gryphon states were shrouded in ash and fire with the eruption of Mount Ibarak in the Sea of Sorrows. Some claim that the phenomenon was natural, others that something more sinister is afoot. Was it just an eruption? Was it the divine judgment of the Ageless One? Or was it some other force? The Lyceum blames nature, the Church, followers of the Way, and there are even some disturbing theories. Some more disturbing theories. Regardless, not too long after the eruption, the Omnipotent and the Circle of Arcane Dominance made the decision to seal the Gryphon state inside of a magical bubble. How they did this is not known, and the action that they took nearly caused another intercontinental war. And let it be known that the way that these refugees fleeing for their lives were treated is deplorable. Kidnapped, enslaved, experimented upon. It would have been better had they died. Mortals also reached out to the heavens, not with a hand, but with a sword. The incorrigible academy of skeptics claim they found a way to invade Mount Celestia, and as proof of their deed, they brought back the head of a demigod, displaying it outside of their headquarters at the Lyceum. Followers of the Ele'thian pantheon were immediately plunged into doubt, and not only being insulted by their traditional faith enemies, but now also being ripped apart by the Academy. Pantheon, already in centuries of decline, becomes scarce on the continent. The Academy warns that more attacks will be forthcoming, and that the religious in Ele'thias should not rest easy, nor feel safe in their places of worship. In a move worthy of being included in the Hall of Fools, the bumbling Sun King of Pressmore, Edmure Stiri, took advantage of the political upheaval by forcibly moving the Tribon Alliance and the High Patriarchy to Monarch's seat in Crestmore. The power grab was obvious, and when Stiri refused to back down, Oshir, Gorgath, and Bliss left the Tribon Alliance to form the Pact of the East. Crestmore, the Free Republic of the Marshes, and Alinar remained in the Tribon Alliance. The Nordic Confederacy, the Suzerainty of the Arcane, and the Miners Consortium remain neutral, while Canu leads the Tribon Alliance and isolates itself diplomatically. With the stage set, we at last reach the present day, the moment of our party's arrival. A cult has formed in the Free Republic city of Forgotten Grove, calling themselves the Submission. The cult worships and longs for the return of Ele'thias' Ithilid masters known as the Enslavers. While many do not see this as a cause for more than passing concern, it's worth noting that the mysterious plague broke out in southeastern Ele'thias. A plague does not kill, but puts someone in a catatonic state. The illness seems to be much more rampant in the eastern side of the region, while it is relatively absent in the direction of the Forgotten Grove. Forgotten Grove. Some write this off as isolation. But many have started to wonder if the cult is responsible for the malady. In fear of the plague, all the nations outside of southeast Ele'thias have closed their borders to those nations. Unfortunately, this led to an attack of opportunity for the Dominion of Gorgath, seeking to gain full control over Reginald's dilemma, and perhaps more. Despite the Free Republic calling for aid, none has come. The FRM had no choice but to send all of its local regiments and militias to the front, leaving many of the smaller villages, even some larger towns, to fend for themselves. A group of travelers are seeking to make their way from Sil Seamus in Canu to the FRM port of Sil Ursuas, before all travel out of the country is banned. A bard, a druid, and a human are heading north to the return to Bliss. A ranger and a barbarian are heading back to help with the recovery efforts and to protect their homeland. A swashbuckler, a warlock, and a young cleric are simply passing through to the next town, where they will try to eke out an honest and sometimes dishonest living while in port. It was supposed to be a normal uneventful trip. Onward they sailed. The second stop of the trip, a mysterious stranger walked on board the vessel. He was quiet, reserved, and kept to himself. But there was a strange fire in his eyes, a fixed determination. He made the other passengers nervous, and there were even talks of making him leave the boat at one of the ports along the way. There would be many occasions where a passenger would catch the man staring at them indirectly. On the 10th day of the trip, a storm blew up from the Isle of Angrenar, and the waves went from treacherous to life-threatening, and and could be seen. Sorry, lost my right. Passengers and crew feared for their lives, all except the mysterious stranger. He seemed to welcome the storm and could be seen lifting his hands, almost encouraging it to intensify. For most of the day and into the night, the storm raged, but the ship hung on. It seemed that just maybe they would make it to the safety of the harbor of Fisherman's Wharf when disaster struck. A wave, the height of one of the peaks of the adamant spires, came crashing on the ship. The force was such that it ripped the hull open, and pieces began to be battered in the waves. The weaker passengers perished. The crew perished trying to save them. There were only a few survivors who managed to hold on for dear life, the pieces of their wreckage floating to various locations along the Demea coastline. By early morning, the storm had abated, and what was left of the vessel runs aground, depositing the survivors on the shoreline. They awake, covered in grime, soaked to the skin in seawater, and incredibly exhausted. It is mid-morning. The sun has long since risen on this clear, freshly blown early spring day. A gentle breeze and a distant cloud mass are the only other tangible reminders of the storm that rocked their world the night before. Coming to consciousness, they open their eyes, they look around, and they sit up, and we'll let them take it from there.
My God.
Oh, Corn. What type of trial is this?
Okay, real quickly. Um, First of all, Fia and
Mhm.
Kronos, you wake up next to one another.
Mhm.
Okay, and you also with you is this really strange, exotic-looking bird. Okay,
Okay.
Hadrid, Rinny, and Pudding, you three wake up next to one another. And John, Teth, and Cuddles wake up next to one another. Okay?
I'm assuming we would have seen a panther cruising around the boat previously, so I would know there was a panther on board rather than waking up and that's a panther.
So those are the three groups that woke up next to each other. We'll start with Fia, Kronos, and the bird.
The bird.
The bird.
Right.
Fia and Kronos, you notice that your druid friend Taven is not.
Yeah. I would.
By the way,
Hmm?
side note on that, Will,
Mm-hmm.
I was mentioning that me and Sabrina and Ed, we talked about the whole character thing, and we came to the conclusion that basically Fia and Tevin had just met, just run into Kronos, just pretty much just before the ship just sailed, so they don't really know each other.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, we are kind of aware of each other's existence, but
But it's
not so much friends or anything, really.
That's fine.
Okay. Okay. I wake up. I look around. Is this a dream? Oh, I know you.
Awake, half elf.
Oh, I've got a headache. And I like touch my head and go, ugh, blood. Great. Do I see like any other people around, or is it just me, him, and the bird?
For what you can tell around you, there appears to be a stretch of coastline to your south. You're on the border of some sort of forest to your north.
Okay.
Actually, it would be to your north and west. You're on the border of the forest, but you see coastline that stretches a little bit to your south and west. But other than Kronos, there you don't see anybody else. You do see this
Bird.
strange exotic bird. Yes.
Okay, I'm a little bit confused.
See this bird aboard the ship before? Or...
Yeah, do we like recognize the bird? Did we see it with?
Yeah, you remember that there was a particularly striking
Oh.
orcish fellow that had a bird of similar type.
No.
Can talk perfect.
Where did
I,
you
I,
say?
they were monologuing. I didn't want to say anything. Bucky wouldn't say anything useful.
Wait at the sails! Wait at the sails! Wait at the sails!
I also can't do a good parrot voice. So.
Um. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, I check if the bird is alive or if it's dead or is it like going around, running around.
What do
Well,
you say?
you just heard it say "weighted the sails."
Oh,
weighted the sails."
okay. Yeah, I didn't get
So
that.
unless the necromancer has.
Yeah, sorry, I was a bit distracted.
I admit
Zombie
I
parrot.
meant nothing. Yes,
You're an amazing zombie parrot.
Okay, yeah, I kind of like extend my hand towards the bird and try to like pet it a little bit and pick it up. Does it like fly away or?
Okay, James, what does Bucky do?
Given the two people he's next to, it would probably settle for the bard.
Okay.
Rather than
I'm gonna put it on my shoulder.
A little bit more terrifying.
Yeah.
You mean the pale, beautiful human man?
Beautiful.
Also, you
Okay.
guys
Cronus is
noticed.
closer to beautiful than happy.
Yes, yes.
Also, you guys noticed that there is a path that kind of leads off of the coastline that you originated at, and that there are a set of footprints that run that direction.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I? Will, is it there's a set of footprints following a path like off the coast into the forest?
Correct. There is a trail that leads off of the coast into the forest itself, and you can see that there are recent footprints that have went that direction.
Can I take a look inside there and figure out how old those footprints are?
Okay. Yeah. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah. The footprints don't look that old. In fact, they were probably made within the last few hours.
Perhaps someone else survived, or there has been someone in the shore during our potential unconsciousness.
Yeah, at this point, Fia is kind of like panicking a little bit because it's just sunk in that Tivan is not here. I'm like, okay. Do I see any wreckage, any bits of wood, drifting wood, anything in the water or at the beach where we are?
Yeah, near you there is obviously you grabbed a piece of the wreckage in order to be able to continue
Yeah,
to live
yeah.
through the night. There is a little bit of that strewn out along the coastline.
Can I like get up and rummage through it, specifically looking for my loot?
Sure. Give me a survival.
Survival. Okay.
Survival
How-
checks determine if you find your heirloom.
Yeah, I hoped it would be perception. Hang on. There we go. Oh!
You you notice that somehow during the storm you had managed to hold on to your loot, and it is among the stuff in the wreckage.
Okay, yeah, so basically like sit down and rummage and find my loot and it's like a cry of joy and she kind of like hugs her loot as if it's like, I don't know, she just found her most precious possession and kind of ignores Kronos as he does his thing. And yeah, as soon as I had like my 1 minute or so with my loot, can I see if I can find anything that's not destroyed? They're all gone. Anything that's not destroyed, anything that could be of use.
You find there's not a lot.
Mhm.
Hold on, let me roll some real quick.
was planning to ask the same, but Zab got the Zab got the speaking ball rolling. I didn't feel like interrupting
Yeah.
her.
Among the wreckage, you don't find a lot, but you do happen to find 7 gold.
Woo. Okay.
No rope survived, but there's gold.
Yeah, there's some gold in you guess was maybe one of your pouches at some point. You don't know. It's really soiled and hard to tell.
Okay.
You find a little bit of gold. All right, and with that,
Yeah.
we're gonna switch to Hadrid, Rennie, and Pudding. You guys wake up next to each other. There is wreckage all along the coast. Coastline stretches to your northeast, and it also stretches to your southwest. And there's just debris everywhere.
Cuddles. Cuddles.
There's no answer, no response.
God damn.
What happened?
Spit the sand out of my mouth.
Oh shit.
Don't forget to dig up the gnome. Or halfling. I don't remember what you were.
That.
You called me a no?
I'm sorry, I don't remember which one you were.
You're really
Very-
short for a
I
halfling, so
would-
it's
I
easily
would
understandable.
Be very careful about calling me a no.
F would know what you are. I just don't remember.
Okay.
I'll check my pockets and see if I have my heirloom.
Remind me what that was again?
It's a piece of
The egg?
The eggshell.
Yes, it is securely on your person.
Great.
The pocket's a little soggy, obviously, but yeah, it's still on your person.
Okay,
So
so
go ahead.
go.
Go.
Let's, okay, also check to see if I've got this pendant around my neck with a little crystal vial on the end of it. As soon as that's there, I start muttering under my breath, and my eyes turn. One turns purple, and the other one turns bright blue. And
Okay. All right. So you guys standing next to the halfling. Notice that he clutches this vial, make sure it's there, and then you notice a little bit of a change in his eyes start to change colors.
It's freaky.
Some demon.
I look
But
over
I'm
at
not
Abe
there.
like, what the hell is this?
You're not some kind of demon, are you?
no,
That's convincing.
and yeah, I'd also like to look and see if there's any food that's been washed up, a barrel with something in it, or
Okay. Give me a survival check.
it's going to be somewhere. Oh
Okay.
yes.
Oh man, that's
Natural fucking 20, man. Boom.
All right.
the
so,
best survivor.
Wow.
I don't-
Okay. So yeah, you're rummaging through. You. A lot of the cargo on the ship was severely damaged, obviously because of the storm. You were managed to gain. You managed to get. There is wood items that you could probably use as say self-defense, but you also notice that there is a little chest. It's not locked, and when you examine the little chest, you see that there is a gem inside of that chest.
A
So,
gem.
a gem. Hmm It looks pretty valuable too.
Nice. I will pocket it. Hopefully, no one sees me pocket it.
You also find a bundle of torches. They're very soggy. You're not sure if you'll be able to use them or not.
Not interested.
But they're there. And some some really soaked through clothes because apparently the ship had cargo for linens and things of that nature. So there's some soaked through garments and things like that, but nothing else of interest.
Yeah, not interested in the torches or anything like that. Don't
Okay.
need them.
I'm gonna sit down and start meditating. I'm using primeval awareness.
I'm gonna look for.
Are there
my
any
camera.
aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead within a mile?
Yeah. So you guys notice that Hadrian sits down, just kind of focuses. It looks like he's meditating on something. Hadrian, there does not appear to be any of those things within a mile of you.
All right. You're not a demon.
No.
Still not very
Again,
convincing.
convincing as before.
Pudding is surprised himself that he's not a demon.
No.
No, I'm not.
Oh, that's surprising.
Nice. All right.
Get you kids to town.
So that's happening on that
Walk around
side,
first.
and we're gonna go switch over to John and Teth and Cuddles.
Oh, gods. Why, Cord? Why have you done this to us? Is this part of some kind of trial? If it is, I'm not liking it. John says as looking at the heavens and shaking his fist.
Petals like walks in front of you like stalking like and starts growling.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I look at Cuddles and I'm like, oh, and I'm also with the predator trying to kill me. What a day. What a lovely day. Hey, Tef, get up. I think we're about to be attacked. I say as I kind of give Tef a little kick.
I'll roll over and oh, that's a panther. And
Oh, that's a panther.
according to Abe, that animal friendship does work on it, so I will fish a morsel of something out of my pockets and feed it to Cuddles and be like, animal friendship.
What?
I'm sure I got beef jerky or something in my pockets. Might not be
Beef
good, but
jerky infused with salt water.
might not be delicious, but it says that's a material component of the spell, so animal friendship, perhaps
yeah.
beef jerky.
Give me an animal handling check.
Oh, yay. Let me find that for you.
I hope you're good. I really, really hope you're good.
Nope. Well, reasonable.
Okay. How does Cuddles respond to that?
Cuddles accepts your tribute.
I volunteer.
He doesn't do it with like much care, so you have to like pull away in order to not get your hand bitten off.
Well,
But
I'd throw it
after-
at Cuddles, most likely. I was like,
After
oh, panther.
Cuddles gnaws on it for a while, she looks sated and
Ah,
like
Oh,
she's
cool.
not going to eat you.
Yay, not being eaten today.
I knew there was a reason I teamed up with you, Teft. I knew there was a reason.
Because I have food in my pocket?
No, because you know how to handle animals.
Oh, okay. And before we go too far off topic, what I know the waters around Bliss were like tropical temperatures. What's the like water of the area that we're in? Just
The water here is a little warmer than the water that you've been traveling through because there is a warm current that goes off of the coast right around the Damia shoreline. So it is not tropical in nature, but it's
it's not like ice cold.
no,
You're
no,
gonna
it's not
die
ice
jumping
cold
in.
at all. No.
Ah, okay. I think now that we have appeased the beast, we should look for anything useful that can help us.
So
I'm sure Cord's trial won't be too bad.
looking around, you see that there is a shoreline that stretches. I have to look at my map here a second. I think I know what I'm saying, but just to make sure. Gotta check my own geography here. Yeah. So you see that the shoreline up to the northeast of you goes on for a little bit. There's woods that border it, but I mean, like the shore goes far east of you, northeast of you, and the shoreline goes also far southwest as well. So you see shoreline both sides. There are pieces of wreckage that have floated onto the beach from the ship the night before.
Oh yeah. Before I start looking at the wreckage, I kind of remember something and panically get like check around my body to see if the box that contains my mom's diary is with me.
Yeah,
Because I'm oh man.
yeah. You fill your body real quick, but you notice that the uh the the mass that is your mom's journal is still in there.
The
You know that the
mass.
box that it contains in is waterproof, so you don't like feel immediately threatened by it. So once you find out it's there, it's like, oh, okay, goodness.
Oh, I knew Cord wouldn't be too mean. Oh,
All that talk
okay.
about Cord.
Point for
Cuddles
Cord.
goes- Cuddles goes
I
running over to the
I
nearest.
got into a shipwreck while being a worshipper of the god of thunder and the sea. I mean, I
That's
will
for a
talk
reason.
about Cord a lot.
So what was Cuddles doing?
Cuddles runs over to the nearest like piece of shipwreck and ship debris and like flips it over looking for Hadred.
Okay. Yeah, Cuddles doesn't find hatred.
So Cuddles is now just gonna start going shipwreck debris hopping, running from piece to piece.
Okay, so Cuddle, you start seeing Cuddles running off, jumping from one debris piece to the other, headed off down the shoreline. Which direction is Cuddles going? Northeast or southwest?
Southwest.
Okay, so Cuddles starts moving southwest.
Well, there she goes.
I assume it can smell something. So
Oh, that's a good point.
Hell if I know.
I don't know.
We should
Cuddles
look
start
for things in
sniffing
the
out
shipwreck though.
Hadred.
I agree. The
Come on,
heavier
dude.
heavier stuff wouldn't have made it ashore. So Teft will like wade into the water and see if he can find heavier things like swords or rope or
Okay,
Or a hammer.
and other things that would have basically never made it to shore.
okay. Go ahead and give me a survival check.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna do it as well because I'm going
Okay.
with him.
All right.
I'll help John and just like,
Okay.
hey, go look over there. I'll go look over here.
Okay, where is the survival? Oh, here it is.
Oh,
Oh, n-
no.
Not very good at
That-
surviving today.
that +3 did do anything. Oh boy.
Why are my macros not working? Oh, that's not what I wanted. I just wanted that. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, first of all, Teth, as you're searching through the wreckage, you don't find any weapons per se. This doesn't seem to have been a ship that had any weapons. Any weapons that you had on yourself seem to have disappeared. They're gone.
Darn.
But what you do find is a small bundle of coins, probably about 6 gold. It looks like in the
Okay.
wreckage there. And
Pocket that.
John, you search, but other than some boards that may be used for maybe defense or like a crude shield, you don't find anything that you could really use.
Okay, I'll grab the crude shield.
Okay.
While lamenting the fact that I lost my shield that had my holy symbol on it. Like, yeah, damn it.
Like a wood.
Okay.
Hey, Taff, do you have like a dagger on you so I can try to inscribe a holy symbol into these planks?
No luck.
Okay. So
Ah.
John, if you're gonna use that as a shield, you have 3 uses. Your AC
Before it
will
breaks.
go up to +1 during those uses. Okay,
Okay, that's fine.
and then your shield will then we'll see if your shield breaks. All right. So
while this is all going on, before we move on to the next one, I do continually mutter while I'm walking up and down the beach, and in doing that, I grasp my little vial around my neck, and I cast a spell on myself to make myself a little tougher, which I can do
to make yourself a little what?
tougher.
I suppose it's mage armor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So okay, you cast mage armor, I guess, on yourself,
Yep,
and you
mage armor on myself. Yeah.
raise up your AC.
Yeah.
All right. So back to Fia and Kronos with
Mhm.
this parrot.
Something I was going to mention before you jumped off. That also Chris would also take a look at the nearby wreckage to see if
Sure.
any sort of supplies survived.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yes, same that I did. Maybe you roll better than me.
With my Sab, remember this is me you're talking about. Called it. That's my shitty luck.
Yeah. So after Fia goes in, waits, and finds it, you're like, maybe I'll have a little bit of a chance to find something. You go out there, look a bit. Other than some boards that you could use as a weapon, or maybe like an improvised shield of some sort, there just isn't. There
Yeah.
isn't anything there.
Yeah, I figured Fia already looted everything, which is the 7 gold. But anyway, other thing I would also like to see, like, just like find either on the wreckage is some piece of block plank or.
Can you put
branch,
Fiona to
grab a
bed, Matt?
branch from the tree line, something that would serve as either a great club or a quarter staff, basically.
Yeah, like I said, you found the board. You could use it as a shield or like some sort of weapon. You can use it as a two-handed weapon, sure.
Yeah.
And then when you have that, it'll have again 3 uses, and its damage is like 2 to 4. So
Yeah. So would it be actually the boars are of course so you said you just soak through this. So would it be possible just instead of relying that shitty flimsy piece of board, try to find like a sturdy branch or something off the tree line and just snap that off? Probably.
okay.
I think we're still staying on the beach head right at the moment.
Go ahead and give me another. Actually, well, your survival check, you don't find one on the ground. There are a few on the trees near you. Give me an athletics check so you can tear one off. Okay. There was a big one that you wanted to pull down, but you weren't able to pull down that one. But however, you were able to pull off a good sturdy limb that you could probably use as a one-handed weapon. So
something like a club.
Yeah, just a regular club.
Okay.
You mentioned that there was like a footpath or some tracks leading.
Yes. It's not really a road. It's just kind of like a really well-trodden trail that leads off into the forest to your north.
I can
mention it to Fia.
Yeah, I kind of like look at Kronos and like point towards that path. Shall we have a look then?
I suppose it would be best, half-elf. There's no gain in us staying here.
Okay.
Out of character, your voice annoys me. Okay. Yeah, okay. I just Fia just shrugs and kind of like pats the little parrot on her shoulder and like carefully follows. I'm going behind Kronos. I'm following him, and
So you guys walk up the path. Does
Yeah.
Bucky stay or does Bucky fly off in search of Taff?
He'll stay on with Fia.
Okay, so
I've got a new pet.
Parrot start walking off toward the path.
He'll probably be annoyed by him before he becomes useful.
Who knows?
Now we'll switch to Hadrid, Rennie, and Pudding on the beach.
Okay, I'll start trying to find a vantage point, a little dune or something to look up and down the beach to see if I can see anyone else who might have survived.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Here we go.
So, like,
Oh.
you climb up to one of the dunes. You're looking around, like, you think you might be able to see something off in the distance. And as you do, for some reason, you just tiptoe a little bit further, and you trip on something, fly up, dust, sand flies up all in your face. It's all in your
Oh
eyes.
god.
You just look absolutely stupid as you're trying to like crush sand on your face. You're on your back, flailing. And Riddy and Hadrid, you see the halfling guy that you were kind of intimidated by because he started casting all this weird crap on himself. All of a sudden, just trip on himself and start flailing, throwing sand up everywhere.
Well, I guess he's not that threatening after all.
Yeah.
And suddenly the ground shimmers underneath me and shakes.
Oh dear God.
I'm gonna start searching the wreckage.
Okay, go ahead and give me a survival check.
I'll help.
Okay. All right, and you're gonna assist him. Okay, so we'll go with the advantage for you then. Yeah, you. That's the wrong one. Okay, yeah, you search the wreckage. You find a few boards and stuff, crates and things that could use either as a weapon or a shield. Um, you do find two floating pieces of gold. Also, but other than that, there doesn't seem to be anything of real value.
Should be more suspicious why the gold is floating.
Well, I mean, it's on the shoreline, so like,
I'm just being a
Yeah.
smartass.
yes. Technically, it wouldn't float, but yeah.
I'm gonna flip one over to Rennie.
All right, so flip one of the gold coins over to Rennie. All right, and as you're standing there, guys, you notice that there is a small shape that's coming down the shoreline from your northeast. It's too far off to really identify what it is, but it is slowly making its way your direction.
I'm gonna climb up to where Pudding was and try to look around.
Yeah, go ahead. Give you a perception.
That's better.
As I'm
That's
passing,
much better.
look over
Yeah.
at him. Say,
You look
"Is it
down,
monster?"
and there seems to be some sort of beast on four legs. Looks a lot like your panther. Floating, going along the wreckage, throwing the wreckage up,
Look at his face.
throwing the wreckage up.
Aw.
Hadrid is like so happy right now. Jump off and start running.
All
Aw,
right,
that's so sweet.
Hatred takes off down the beach to the northeast,
Rinny runs after him.
and Brinny runs after him. Pudding, have you gotten up from the sand yet?
Yeah, dusting myself off, muttering under my breath, which is something that I constantly do. I'm constantly muttering under my breath. Things like, should it be green? Should it be maybe blue? Louder or softer? And things like that, just continually muttering.
Right. So do you go chase after them, or?
Yes, I'll chase after them. I don't want to be left alone.
So
Aw.
Pudding goes running after the rest of them heading down the
Yeah.
beach. So eventually you three meet up, and it isn't Hatred. Indeed, it is your panther. It is Cuddles running down the beach. So John and Teth, you check the wreckage, found what you can. What are you gonna do now?
So Teth, do you think we should go in the direction Miss Panther went, or should we go in the opposite direction?
I would trust the beast's sense is over my own, so we'll follow the direction it went. It might be smelling things we can't quite pick up.
Well, if we die, I'm blaming you.
Fair enough.
From the
Let's go.
afterlife, I'm blaming you. All right, so both of you guys run after the direction of the panther. Eventually, after running a little ways, you see that the panther comes upon. The panther has stopped, and it has joined a crowd of what is a particularly tall dragonborn, a half elvish ranger-looking guy. He's got wilderness.
Isn't he human?
A wilderness look to
Human.
him.
Why
He's
does everyone
human.
think I'm
Oh,
evil?
I'm sorry, a human guy, because it looks like he's been in the wilderness a little bit, and you have this little tiny. And it's funny because this tall dragonborn is standing next to this tiny halfling, about 2.5 feet tall off the ground. If you didn't see him, you almost would have stepped on him running out. He is covered in sand, however. Like he
Yeah.
dusted a bunch of it off. He's got some on his shoulders. You can tell that he took a tumble into the.
And I'm puffing really, really hard because I have to run flat out sprint just to keep up with them when they're jogging. And I'm very plump.
Yeah.
That's where all our food went.
As soon as I see other people, I just start waving and yelling, "Hey! Hey, you guys! Hey! Over here!" And
Hello?
I start approaching. And I'm like, "Survivors! Yeah!"
Well, I'm glad that you survived. It's probably not a good idea to be attracting every single dangerous thing in these woods to us.
Probably face palmed.
Did we hear that, Kronos and me?
Oh, we headed off into the forest, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, you guys
Probably
went
not.
into the forest.
Probably not. Nah.
I mean, I start calling out from the distance as I approach, because I am very happy. And when I get close to you, I stop. I stop calling out so loudly. But I am very, very happy. I have a big grin on my face, and I see. Oh, am
He's
I
so
glad
cute.
to see unfamiliar faces?
He's so adorable.
All right, so you guys meet up.
Except for Pudding. Hey, Pudding, how you doing?
Okay, I guess.
You got a little something all over you.
How does it look as though I'm doing? And I spit more sand out of my mouth. And
Well, you might have got quite an accident right there. What happened?
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, so you can tell that Pudding's been through some sort of ordeal that he just doesn't want to discuss at the moment. So you guys come back together. Thea and Kronos, you start moving down the path
Mm-hmm.
slowly. You notice that the footprints that you've been following have indeed continued to go down this well-worn path and further into the woods.
Okay. By the way, as we are traveling, I know like Kronos has like snapped the branch off a wood, but can I just have a look as we're traveling if there's like any decent sized branch I could use as an improvised weapon as well lying around? Because I'm a little bit weak. I don't trust myself to snap a branch off a wood, of a
Okay.
tree. I
Go
mean,
ahead and give a survival check.
no!
Yeah, the branches
Oh, no.
here are more like switches. Like they're like little tiny twigs that you could bend. There's nothing that.
Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna stay a little bit closer to Kronos then and
Yeah.
kind of like look around and I let him do the tracking and I keep an eye on our surroundings to see if there's anything approaching us or if I see anything like moving in the woods.
The woods seem to be pretty quiet.
Okay, cool.
Like just a peaceful, normal day. You don't even. You notice that there's like it's a little wet, like a storm came through, but
Mhm.
that wouldn't be totally at storm.
I also want to like put effort into keeping track where we're traveling, like in proportion to where we started from the beach? Like, do we go mostly left or right, or do we go north, south, that stuff?
The path that you're following is taking you northeast.
Okay.
Woods.
Do
Okay.
you have any idea? Do you have any sort of idea where we are? As in, well, we know where the ship left, although the big
You-
whole exposition thing, everything.
You know that,
went by my
yeah,
head,
you know
but-
that you're somewhere along the Damien coastal stream because the night before the storm started, you had went in the channel between the mainland and the island of Tumora. So you know you're beyond that, but how far you made it is not clear at this point.
Okay.
Hmm.
While we're traveling, while we're walking, I want to keep an eye on just the general surroundings and see if there is anything I recognize as edible, like berries, mushrooms, anything of salt, because of the fact that we have really no idea where exactly we are, and we
Mm.
don't have any food.
That's a good point.
That's true.
Okay. And didn't you have a feed or something like that for that?
No, I don't.
No.
I think Abe does something like that.
I think the Outlander background
Yes,
is what you're
I think
talking about.
Tivan have
Tivan has that feed, that
Okay.
background, and he's not here.
Go ahead and
Survival
yeah,
check.
Can I
yeah.
can I help him?
Sure, get advantage.
Advantage. Yay.
Yeah.
Good. You yeah. Try again.
Well, okay.
Try again. Maybe you're getting a natural. No. Okay. 17 is okay.
Thanks for advantage. Oh yeah, you find about a day's worth of rations and water. There's some water. Like I said, there's some water that collected from the storm.
No, we can't. We can drink it, but we can't really
drink
gather it along
You can't
because.
gather it right. So you have you have enough. You've found enough stuff to survive. Basically, for a day.
What I'm probably gonna do is literally just. I assume we have basic clothes on.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're obviously smell like sea and death, but yeah, you have basic tattered clothes on. Yeah.
All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off my shirt off and wring most of the seawater off of it and turn it into some sort of a sack, just to carry all the edible material we find.
Okay. Yeah. You do that. You manage to actually gather another day's worth of rations from doing that. So.
Okay.
Okay. Do you share?
No sharing.
You said we were both working on it, so
Yeah.
I assume what Will made is 2
Yeah,
days. of
Yeah,
food for
okay,
both of us.
okay.
One for each of you. Yeah, one for each of you.
Okay.
So you guys found some food, and water still survive. What else are you guys doing?
Well,
Yeah. Go ahead.
that's what we can do. We mainly probably keep following the tracks we found, sort of try to keep an eye on, like, if we're catching up on whatever made them. I at least try to keep an eye on if they're catching up.
Yeah, and
not
as you're
right now.
traveling the road, you notice that the sun is now directly overhead, giving you the idea that it's probably around midday.
Okay.
Guys on the beach.
Did I manage to keep a hold of my scarf during the shipwreck?
Yeah, the scarf is still around your neck.
All right. So none of you have seen. What is
I
underneath the
assume the
scarf.
same thing with Tef's shark tooth necklace. It's just
Sure. Yeah,
yeah.
it's still there.
necklace still there.
Boy, the sailor one. Do you remember which direction we were traveling?
I'd have to roll survival to figure that out. I assume so.
I'll help you.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. He'll help you with advantage there.
So an advantage.
Uh,
So 20.
oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. You
Looks like
guys,
rolling as Bucky.
before the storm hit, you guys were moving to the east. The goal was to try to get to Fisherman's Wharf and dump off some last minute supplies before sailing off to Sila or Suez, which is a much bigger city in the southern part of Ele'thias, right before the Gorgat border. As far as whether you you can determine looking around and with your knowledge that you probably did not make it that far. You're somewhere north because the storm came out of Angranar. So
Mhm.
you're probably it probably blew you to the north, and so you gather that you're in the woods somewhere around Fisherman's Wharf, probably, but you're not sure how close or how far that is.
Okay.
But do we know that it's east of us?
You have no idea what part of the coastline you're on. So no, not at this point.
Hadrid just totally lies and says, Fisherman Wharf is up ahead. It's that way. And he just points east.
What direction is he pointing?
East.
East. Okay. So the direction that that Teth and John you came from, Hatred says that Fisherman's Wharf is that direction.
Having come from that direction, would we know?
You didn't see anything.
I mean, are you sure? We just came from there, and there didn't seem to be any sign of civilization. I mean, they could be kind of far ahead, but I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
There's not any this way either, and we had to have been within a day's travel of there when we wrecked.
Ah, heck, let's do this. I'll follow you. You look like the type of person who knows how to survive in the wilderness.
Okay. So you guys start moving to the northeast.
Yeah.
Okay. So this whole party of people starts moving to the northeast. Thea and Kronos, as you follow the trail, eventually the woods end and you come upon a rather large, large building type stone structure
Okay.
that appears to be some sort of fort that takes care of merchant traffic and stuff that comes in and out of what appears to be a town of some sort. There is a town with a small stockade around it that goes for some distance. It's not a village. It's definitely big enough to hold a bunch of people, but compared to some of the cities you've been into, it's a town.
Okay, and this like stone structure thing fort, like I don't know, are we like at the back of it or? Oh.
You guys are coming out of the woods, so it's still a little bit ahead of you.
Oh.
From what you could tell, there are some soldiers in a loose sense guarding it. The footprints you've been following do still lead in the direction of the fortress and city and such.
Okay. Well,
So, who is the biggest person in our party?
Sarah,
Would be the giant.
the Dragonborn,
Yeah. Giant
six,
dragon lady.
6'3", I think she is.
Yep.
I'm
And
going
then the
to
rest of
use
us are
my-
5'11.
5'9".
I'm going to use
But
my
yeah.
ability of being naturally stealthy to try and hide in her shadow.
No, but yeah, I think
Hides under Rennie's tail.
great. No, but yeah, seeing civilization, would first thing Fia would do, it would probably like sigh of relief and probably go towards it.
Okay.
I don't know, Kronos?
Guys, you're
Question
still ways
mark.
off, but you can see. So you guys are gonna go towards the fort?
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with Fia. She seems to know what she's doing with this civilization.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna approach.
Besides, she's the one who scavenged all the coin from the wreckage, and greedy bastard she is, she's hanging on to it. So
Okay. So yeah, you guys start to walk towards the fort. The other group of people, you guys come out along the coastline. Eventually, you come upon a stone building. Looks sort of like a fort. And off to the side, probably to the east of it, there appears to be a town and it has not a military shipping harbor, but like a harbor for trade, fishing, other expeditions out of the town. You see people bringing in large catches of fish off in the distance. You could also tell that the fort does have what could be kind of called guards standing around it from a distance as you emerge from the beach shoreline.
We made it. We're
So-
poor and very, very tired, but we made it.
So
Can
I'll
I-
get behind the dragonborn and try and hide.
Can I see the others, or are they like not in?
At this point, you can't see them.
Okay,
Not yet.
okay.
What did I tell you? Told you I'd lead you to the right place.
Abe's got
Yeah,
Hadrian's
you're
got
really good.
like self-satisfaction.
I'm just thinking to myself,
Civilization.
it's just my guess was perfect.
So what are you guys doing?
Approach the
So,
town.
Approach the fortress.
wait, did
Wait,
we
wait,
already
wait.
introduce
Group-
ourselves
group
to
on the
each other?
beach. Hmm?
Did we already introduce
I don't think
ourselves
you
to each
did. I
other?
think you just started walking off.
And I say, "So, Mr. Save Us All, what's your name?"
Name's Hadrid Red Eagle. And you?
Name's Jean. Jean Egbert. I am a cleric of Cord who threw us all into the ocean. And yeah, he's kind of a dick sometimes.
How the hell is this guy still a cleric?
But that's okay, because it's a trial, and we succeeded. I think.
Yeah, as John says this, you notice that the waves get a little taller for a minute.
This is great.
That's
you
why
wanna be
I
drowned
exist.
by
I
your
have to
god,
try
do
to
it.
appease him sometimes.
You appease him and then you insult him.
Meanwhile, Pudding has disappeared.
Yeah.
Yes, you no longer can see Pudding. Pudding is gone.
Where'd he go?
He probably sat on him.
That would not be good.
Pudding is just squashed into the ground somewhere.
And you, dragon lady who doesn't say anything. What's your name?
Rennie.
You're not making much of a case for yourself.
Teft likes the dragon lady. Nice and quiet.
And so begins the first PC romance of this game.
Damn, it's not Teft and Cuddles.
Oh
face
no!
Teft was following John around, so he's used to having this voice in his ear, like, nonstop. Just, oh, look, quiet. Somebody's quiet.
Used to
Alright,
listening to
kids.
John jabble on.
Alright, so you guys see the fort coming up in a distance. Fia and Kronos, you're
Mhm.
making your way toward the fort, and as you guys all make your way toward the fort, suddenly, Fia and Kronos, you see this large group of people headed towards the fort, as you are also making your way from another direction to the same fort.
I see the
So we're heading
the
towards the fort.
Dragonborn.
I thought
And
I-
all of a sudden, you also see that the people around the fort have all of a sudden sprang to attention and like are fumbling with different like weapons. You can tell they're not professional soldiers. I mean, like they're just grabbing
Okay, I guess-
things. Things are
time
falling all over the place.
time out. Yes, so we're heading towards the fort. I got the understanding from what you described we were heading towards the town.
No, I said that I was going
Well,
towards
road
the
to
fort.
Town leads you through the fort. The fort guards the town, so the road leads into the town.
The road goes through a fort.
Yes.
Wow. Must be very inconvenient. Okay, carry on.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have to open the gates for every single caravan and everything, I think they would just make a new road around it. Anyway.
You notice that there's not an opening in the gate or anything. It's just that the road goes through the fort. It's just a big hole, like an
Okay.
arch. Yeah.
Okay. Now I see. I see. Do I see the others? See the others.
Yeah, you do see this group of people over here. You see that the fort is comically trying to prepare itself for an attack of some sort. I don't know. But you see the others coming around the other side. You're like, they look vaguely familiar to you.
I would probably remember the big ass dragonborn.
Yeah,
The
you
big
see
ass,
this
very white
really tall dragonborn, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of like tip Kronos like on the shoulder and say, look, I think these people were with us when we were on the ship, and I change directions and walk towards those people.
I love the
Does
fact that when
start squawking?
RPing with Sabrina, you can't do anything because she doesn't stop. It even breathe.
I just stopped. I just
Go
stopped.
ahead.
Yeah, I just like to tease her about it. But anyway, yeah.
He also has
That's
a very
that's a
colorful
pretty
bird
finger.
on your
Yes,
shoulder.
very pretty finger. Anyway, just Cronus just looks over and Sophia taps him on the shoulder and looks over to this direction she's pointing. Yes, it would appear some of them survived as well.
Did I mention your voice is annoying?
Yes, you did.
Does Bucky start squawking when he sees Steph?
Okay.
Yeah, what does Bucky do?
Probably curses in Orcish.
I don't understand Orcish.
Do you know Orcish?
Unfortunately not.
Thea, do you know Orcish?
No.
Okay, so all of a sudden the bird just spits out this really guttural like language, just like out of its mouth, and you're just like, what the?
I gotta like giggle a little bit, I guess, but I keep going.
And Teth, you hear in Orcish your bird curse.
I'm going to just make this easy for Cronus easier to figure out what the hell Bucky's on about. I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals on myself. Then Cronus just turns to slowly look, just even stare at the bird. What is your problem, child of the wilds?
What does he say?
I'm trying to think of what Bucky would say. Would he just carry on cursing in Orcish? Because speak with animals would only work if it was going to talk like an animal. It would continue speaking whatever obscure languages it picked up.
It would also sound to the bird like I was like Kronos was talking in the parrot language.
Right.
What the fuck is causing that cracking?
It's Teft.
Oh, is it me?
Yeah.
I think so.
Sorry, let me fix my headphone. See if it's
The cat is back.
better.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it disappeared.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Bucky would just look at the human in confusion and then fly away. Fly toward him.
Okay, the bird
Bucky
just flies
swears
away.
and stare at it.
Doesn't answer you at all. Just flies away.
But it would fly
Reminds me
towards
I do
Teth.
not this reminds me why I do not waste my time with such creatures. Ungrateful.
Fia looks confused.
Okay, so the group on the other side.
Cronus
you are
looks
also-
bored.
You are also coming around the bend towards this fort, trying to head towards the city, and you see two individuals over to the side. And Teth, you see your bird suddenly hear your bird, and then you see it start flying your direction.
Bucky. Oh,
And Bucky lands on your shoulder.
yeah. Well, yay. Give him a piece of whatever junk I carry in my pocket.
Okay,
Obscure food bits.
little food bits, yeah.
I wave.
And you see somebody wave, so you think it's friendly.
You think? No, I mean, I don't usually have like a very intimidating presence anyways. So, yeah, kind of like,
Like a fangirl going, hey!
no! No,
Yeah.
certainly
Then
not.
There's the little Fia just waving to the group, and then there's the little over 6 foot tall, almost albino looking human.
With no top on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I would just like go over and see that Bucky has like settled with with theft, and it's like, oh, is that your bird?
Yes, but this is Bucky. Thank you
Aw.
for rescuing him.
Yeah, he was kind of like next to me when I woke up at the beach, and kind of took him with us. Did any of you see an elven man, like long brown hair, green tattoos all over, and probably very confused? My friend Tivan is missing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Just look for an elf that appears to resemble a horse.
Oh, shut up.
Can't say I have. Have you, Teft?
Unless
Alien.
he can turn into that panther. Nope.
What about you, Hadrid?
Nope. Haven't
Fee-
seen any elves since I got here.
With every no, Fia looks like freaking out even more, and like, no.
All of a sudden, you guys notice that over on the other
Leon.
side,
Leon, stop.
toward the fort, the soldiers are like doing rock, paper, scissors over there,
Hi.
and
The,
one,
the
one-
gods are doing that.
Okay.
yes, and
Okay.
one loses
Okay, I'll
on
bite.
the face, and they start, one of them
Oh.
start moving your direction.
Careful.
slowly.
Oh.
Oh.
is that-
Yeah, I would also walk towards them.
I will-
hello.
I'll jump out from behind the Dragonborn.
Ah,
having cast thaumaturgy, I'll speak in. My voice will suddenly boom out. What do you want?
What the hell?
Well, we're just wondering what you want here. We're a peaceful town. We don't need trouble.
Calm
Guard-
down.
gu-
Calm
the-
down.
Assume even one as simple-minded as yourself would not mistake a group like ours as bandits. If you truly require information, human,
Well,
shipwreck.
Oh shit.